5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello everyone, I'm Max Maine, fat loss expert, transformation coach.
I'm Eric Cherry from Detroit, Michigan. I met Max Maine through Facebook, through a good friend, Jason Rutley. Shout out to Jason.
No doubt. So we're here today because a lot of individuals have been keeping up with Eric Cherry journey. Most people in the Oakland County and Macomb and Detroit area know who I am. And people want to know how in the hell did he lose 105 pounds in 4.5 months? The good thing is he did it all in a group setting. So there's a lot of witnesses that saw his transition and his transformation. So I'm just gonna throw some questions out there and hopefully I answer a lot of y'all questions. We motivate y'all and we give y'all a little direction on how you too can lose a lot of weight in a short period of time. It don't take it don't take light years. It don't take 100 years to lose weight. So I'm gonna ask him some questions and again, hopefully we fulfill some of y'all questions. So let's just start from the beginning. What motivated you to lose the weight? Tell us a little bit about yourself, about the drive, because actually you drove from Detroit to Pontiac to get here. How did you hear about us and the first steps that it took for you to lose the weight? Because we all know the hardest step is the first step. Everybody say, I need to lose weight. I need to get rid of my stomach. But that first step is the hardest step. So, you know, give us a little game on how you made that first step and how you heard about us and whatnot.
I mean, well, initially I was just, scrolling Facebook one day and I kept seeing Rut post, posting in the gym. It was inspirational.
Shout out Jason Rutley.
Shout out Jason. So I was inspired, man. I hit him up one day and I don't think he didn't message back or something. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit him up. Hit him up again. He ended up hitting me back, but I know he probably was thinking like, this dude ain't coming. So long story short, I ended up telling him like I'd be there Friday. This was the first day I started. I came that Friday, he wasn't here, but I still ended up coming. He told me he wasn't gonna be here. So that's where it all started.
No doubt. And so when you first got here, you saw videos on Facebook, so you kind of got a little taste of it.
Right.
So when you first came here, you walked into my office. I think we met initially in the office and I took a picture of your weight. And I think, how much did you weigh when you first came in?
Man, when I first started, I was 485 pounds.
He was 485 pounds.
Yeah.
So he told me, I asked him some assessment questions. Do you have any injuries? Or do you have any allergies? When was the last time you worked out or whatnot? And he told me that he played football in high school, and I think you played semi-pro. And me personally, I love training ex-athletes because I believe in muscle memory, and most athletes are competitive, so they put in a little bit of extra work. So when he told me that he was ready to start, I grabbed my camera and I took a picture and I told him, like, we need to document this because this is the last time that you're ever gonna, see yourself weighing this much. So, took the measurements, the assessment, we put him on a scale, and then I introduced him to the Max Out Fitness boot camps, which is high intensity cardio and weight training. But more importantly, I introduced him to a way of eating. It's not necessarily a diet, it's a lifestyle change, and it's a time restricted way of eating called intermittent fasting. I would love to say that I introduced intermittent fasting to a majority of the fitness world in Pontiac. I'm not the creator of it, but I started intermittent fasting over 3 years ago when you didn't hear a lot of talk about it. I was the first one that I knew in the area that started intermittent fasting, or some people was doing it, but they didn't know why and the science of it. So when I came across it, I started teaching my clients about intermittent fasting because I saw the change in my body. Even though I was working out, I didn't have that cut, ripped look that I thought that maybe it was my genetics. I'll never get those 2 extra abs at the bottom. I'll never get that mean ripped look because my mama and my daddy didn't look a certain way. But when I started intermittent fasting and controlling my blood sugar and things like that, my body transformed. So I taught my clients this way of eating, and I started seeing a higher success rate than I was seeing in the past when I was just relying on cardio and exercise. So talk about the effects and the results of the intermittent fasting. If you want to, because you know about it now, so if you want to break it down and teach them and educate them, take the.
Okay, well, so basically intermittent fasting is it's a protocol that you use, like he said, it's just shortening your eating window. You got different protocols. The most common one is the 16-8 protocol, which is fast for 16 hours and eat in an 8-hour window. You're not eating for 8 hours just throughout the day. You're eating in an 8-hour window. So, for example, you would only eat from 12 noon to 8 p.m. And then from 8 p.m. until 12 noon, you would fast. It sounds crazy, but when you really think about it, the only thing you're really doing is skipping breakfast, or you're skipping that early meal.
So when I first told you and said, hey man, this is what we go do. I know you probably used to eating breakfast or whatnot. From the time you wake up until 8 hours after you wake up, I don't want you consuming anything except water, coffee, or tea. I don't want you eating nothing that would spike insulin. I don't want you putting no type of calories in your body. Right. What was your first thought?
Man, this dude crazy. That was my first thought. I'm like, he crazy. I ain't doing that, man. That don't sound right. I got to eat my breakfast. That's my most important meal. That's what I thought. That's how I felt at the time, because I wasn't used to skipping breakfast. But turns out it was all a myth.
No doubt. So, we're not going to get too deep into intermittent fasting, but the whole point is controlling insulin. I don't believe that people gain weight because they're greedy or they eat too much or because they have a fat gene. I believe that most people have a hormonal problem and they don't know how to control their hormones. The strongest hormone is what we call insulin. Insulin is actually a storing hormone. Every time you eat, your body your pancreas release insulin. And as long as there's insulin in your body, then your body is always storing, and we're never giving our body a chance to release a hormone called glucagon, which helps us burn our own fat storages, our fat that we have in our body. So actually, when you go in a fasted state, insulin is not in your body, and then now your body can start burning the fat that you have already stored for energy. So this is how this is how the stomach shrink, and the fat in your body is shrink because of the insulin is not in your body, and your body start relying on your fat as a fuel source.
Exactly.
So and it's more to it. So what time you woke up?
I usually wake up. Well, I was waking up about 4:30.
So he wake up about 4:30. So I taught him not to eat until 12:30. He had the options of water, coffee, or tea, and that's it. And then when he started eating at 12:30, he have 8 hours. He have until 8:30, sometimes 9, to consume all his meals. And then that way from 8:30 at night all the way until 12:30 the next day, his body was just burning the fat because there was no food.
Right.
And so tell us a little bit about the way that you did your intermittent fasting, because there's different ways. How did you break your fast?
Okay.
What you used to do, how you used to eat, and the switch over.
Well, I'll start out how I used to eat. Okay, so a typical day for me, before I started fasting and before I started working out regularly, I would wake up in the morning, I would eat 9:30. We have a lunch break at work at 9:30. I would eat maybe a couple donuts and a coffee, or I would some mornings I would get a big breakfast, a sandwich or a couple sandwiches, and then on Saturdays I would go and grab a omelet, hash browns, big breakfasts, and then I would turn around a couple hours later at noon and have a big lunch, and then in between I might have a snack, and then I'm eating my dinner around 8, 9 o'clock. But when I started this intermittent fasting protocol, I started skipping breakfast completely. Only thing I drank was black coffee, no sugar, because it'll spike your insulin. It's calories. Anything with calories, no sweetener, just black coffee, tea with no sugar or nothing, and water. Those were the only 3 things I was consuming. And then I mean, the first few days, I felt hungry because we got a hormone called ghrelin, which is a hunger hormone. And if you don't eat, your body used to eating at a certain time, that hormone is going to trigger, and your stomach going to start, growling. You're going, oh man, what's going on with me? So, but after about 3 or 4 days, eventually that goes away because your body's smart. Your body knows how to adjust. And then what you'll find is in a few days, your 9 o'clock will come around, or whatever time you used to eat to roll around, and you won't even be hungry. Because what your body is doing is, like Max said, it's using your fat, your stored fat as energy. And it's eating off your stored fat, and that's how you still going. That's how you still, and actually you feel better when you skip that meal. Because you ain't sluggish, you got more energy, you got a clear mind, you can get more work done. So it's so many benefits from it, besides just the weight loss. It's way more benefits, and it's a lot deeper than just weight loss when it comes to fasting.
Absolutely. So I think the first month, do you remember your weight, how much you lost from doing the intermittent fasting?
Oh, first month. I mean, like, I think the first 2 weeks when I first started working out,
it was slow.
It wasn't slow. It just, the first couple weeks, I really didn't do too much intermittent fasting. I don't think. I think I was just, you had gave me like a meal plan.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I forgot about that. So what I do with most people, when they try to lose weight, it's hard for them because they try to go cold turkey.
Right.
First day, I'm not drinking no pop, I'm not eating no candy. They excited, it's the 1st of January or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they like, listen, I'm about to stop everything right now, and I'm about to lose 100 pounds in 4 months. But we all know that unless you have a strong, super strong mindset, that's almost impossible. It's kind of like going to somebody who's been doing a chemical dependent, that been on drugs their whole life. And then they say, hey, I think I want to quit. And then you just make them quit the first day. That's why they have rehab and they have a system. And so the system that I use, that I have adopted off of a lady named Dr. Becky, was add before we subtract. And the whole point of it is adding the vegetables, the beans, the fiber, and the nutrients that your body needs, so that once you start burning fat, you have to remember that it's toxins that's safely stored in your fat cells. Mm-hmm. So once you start drinking the water and then the toxins start getting released out the fat cells, you're going to experience some things that you may not want to experience. That's going to make it harder for you to not eat the sugar. Right. All type of different toxins that's going to make you crave the cigarettes, the sugars, and the processed foods is going to be released. Now, if you add the fiber and the nutrients that your body needs, then your body can kind of help aid the process. Mm-hmm. It can kind of slow down and help clean out the toxins, so your body won't go through these withdrawals. So what I do with my clients, I give them a 7-day challenge. The first day I have them drink a gallon of water. So they can eat whatever they want for these 7 days. They just have to follow my protocol. Right. And it's the first day they drink a gallon of water. The second day they do it. They're always repeating the first day. So they do the gallon of water, then the second day, a pound of vegetables, then the third day, the water, the vegetables, a cup of beans, and then after that, 3 pieces of fruit. And then once we get to like day 5, I start subtracting. Because I know that their body has the protein, the fat, and the fiber that you need to help with the satiety, so that you won't have these drops in blood sugars and you want to snack all day. Absolutely. Because most people that have a bigger stomach, they have a snacking problem. They're always spiking insulin. So when you add the healthy fat, the fiber, and the protein, you help control the blood sugar. You have a steady state, so you won't have to snack. Mm-hmm. So basically, and they come in thinking I'm about to have them stop doing everything. For the first week, I add nutrients in their body, and then I start taking away the carbs, the white flour, the white rice, the white burritos, the sugars, the pops, and things like that. So when I take it away at day 6, 7, the red meats and whatnot, it's not so bad. So he did the 7-day challenge first, and then I introduced him to intermittent fasting. Right. So the process, it's baby steps to this. Mm-hmm. And then I started teaching them different things about how they can eat, as far as stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed, get some steps in, burn some of it off, and other little techniques that I call my accountability system that'll help a person journey through this weight loss a little bit smoother. Mm-hmm. So the first month, or the first or the second month, you started losing weight. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you really noticed how much weight you lost until I put your before and after picture together. Yeah. And you saw how skinny your head and everything became. Right. And so while you was losing the weight and you saw the scale going down, I'm quite sure that gave you the motivation to keep going.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because you was able to
motivation.
see, like, I'm gonna let you talk about that, because you can talk about it about me.
Like Max said, ain't no better motivation than visual, being able to see it. People can say all they want, words can motivate you to a certain degree, but when you actually see results, that's when you really like, okay, I can do this. I got the solution, or I got the blueprint. I know what I'm doing now. So that's what it all came down to with me. I started to see the results, and it was like week after week after week, I'm just steady dropping pounds. I'm feeling better. I'm more motivated. I got more energy. Like everything going better at home. I got more energy for my kids. I got more energy at work. I'm just a better person all around. Like it's a ripple effect. So that was my motivation.
Absolutely. And so during the workout, Eric was driving from Detroit to Pontiac, working out at least 4 to 5 times a day. A week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a week. And with my boot camp class, I teach a full body, high volume training cardio. So they'll come in, one station may be squats, the next station may be shoulder presses, the next station may be curls, the next station may be back. So most of our boot camp days, I'm always tricking the body, I'm always tricking the mind. You never know what type of workouts that I'm going to have set up the next day, because I want to keep you your body at an uncomfortable state. When you try new exercise that you're not used to, then your body, it experiences a certain type of stress. You will start shaking, you will start sweating, you will start aching, and your body you'll start communicating with your body saying, listen, if you don't want to go through this again, you need to get rid of this baggage so we won't have to experience this pain, because your body is always designed to keep you safe, and is designed for your survival. This is why when you go on a low calorie diet for too long, something like a military diet, or if you fast for too long and not putting a lot of nutrients in your body, you would think like, oh, if I keep this up, I'm going to just get skinny. No, your metabolism will slow down. So it's a science to this, and I try my best to learn. And as I learn, I try to teach and I try to coach, so that all of my clients can have a story such as Eric's. Anything else you want to add on to it?
Oh yeah, so I think like for the people out there that's trying to make this transformation and trying to lose weight, my biggest thing would be try not to do everything at once, because as human, we naturally want results now. And that's a bad formula. It won't work, trust me. You don't want to go out to the grocery store and buy a bunch of stuff that you're not going to eat, or you're not going to be able to stick to, or sustain for a long period of time. You don't want to be sitting there chewing on raw vegetable stock or some stuff you're not going to enjoy. It's got to be long term. It's got to be sustainable. And what works for me may not work for you, but whatever you do, make sure it's sustainable. Don't try to look to your left and look to your right. Oh, he losing weight like this, she losing weight, because everybody's body different. It's all a lot of it is hormones. So you can work out as much as you want. You can beat yourself down. You can eat, But if your hormones ain't right and you ain't getting enough rest, that's another big thing. Rest. You got to get your sleep, because you can go to sleep. Like I don't know if people know this, or if you weigh yourself, you can weigh yourself at night and be 200 pounds. Go to sleep and get a full 8 to 10 hours of rest. Wake up in the morning, you'll be 3-4 pounds lighter. All because your body and the way your hormone work and the way your body work. So get your rest. Try not to do everything at once. I mean, be realistic about it. Take like Max said, add on nutritionist foods, and then eventually your body not gonna have enough room to take in all that junk you eating, and then start eliminating it. Don't try to just go stop cold turkey, because that's not gonna work. All you're gonna do is relapse, and you're gonna end up binge eating, and it's gonna even be worse. So that's my biggest thing.
No doubt.
Just
Absolutely.
be realistic.
Be realistic and prepare.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of people like to go to war. They didn't learn how to fight. They forgot their sword. They forgot their shield, and they didn't prepare.
Oh yeah. Speaking of prepare,
yeah, you have to.
Yeah. One more thing. Speaking of prepare, as far as like, especially for the people that fast, when you break your fast, you don't want to just, you want to already have a meal planned, or you want to at least know what you want to eat. Because when you break that fast, a lot of times, especially in the beginning, you're gonna be hungry. So as human, first thing we see, we snacking on. So you could be in the kitchen at the last minute trying to cook something to eat. Meanwhile, you done consumed 1,000 calories of junk food, because you picking as you fixing your food. You tasting this, you tasting that, and that stuff add up quick. And then before you know it, you eating your food. And a lot of people think, oh, just because I'm intermittent fasting, I'm gonna lose weight. That's wrong, because you still have to eat the right foods, and you still have to stay at a caloric deficit. you know, just because you intermittent fasting, that don't just guarantee you still got to put the work in, and you still got to be smart about it. So it ain't rocket science. Just be smart about it.
And you used to reward yourself with a cheat day.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, we don't want the viewers to think that you just ate grass all day and you starved yourself. You know, you did your intermittent fast, but on the weekend you had your pizza, you had your drink or whatever you had. And it's all about balance. You know, you want to do more good than you want to do bad.
Exactly.
You want to prepare. Most of the time, you probably looking right now like, yeah, I'm going to lose weight. But if I look on the top of your refrigerator right now, you got the big bag of chips with the clip on it. You got the Twinkies that you so-called bought for the kids. If I look in your refrigerator right now, you got snacks and stuff everywhere. You want to prepare. You want to make sure that you don't have a vision. You prepare your meals, or at least you know what you're going to eat, because you have to realize that you're at war. You're trying to break the cycle of things that you've been doing your whole life. So if you see it, that's like me. I'm a trainer and I know better. But if I didn't prepare my meal, or I don't know what I'm gonna eat, let my kids run past with some Pizza Hut or something, some chips or something, I'm going to eat it. So to avoid that, I make sure that my lunch is prepared. I make sure that my dinner is prepared. And on the weekends, yes, I reward myself. So it's not nothing that you just gotta put yourself in this prison and you can't enjoy the jewels of life. It's about how bad do you want it. If you want to lose 40, 50, 60 pounds, then you can't do what your girlfriend do. She weigh 150 pounds, so she can reward herself like a dog. And every time it's time to celebrate, you know, eat a treat or go out to eat. You have to be a little bit more disciplined. So I'm gonna drop a little bit more jewels on how to do this. So when you break your fast, the first thing that you want to do is you want to drink some water, because a lot of times when we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. And also we want to create volume in the stomach. Because when you create volume in the stomach by drinking water or eating something with volume like a salad, it's real bulky, but it has low calories. Once it stretches the lining of our stomach, it can send a signal to our brain that it's okay to stop eating. You have to remember that your body also, it's not looking for calories. Your body don't count calories. It's looking for nutrients. It's looking for iron, zinc, magnesium, protein, the right carbohydrates and antioxidants. So once it's like, if you probably saw your son, if he get real hungry, he can eat a whole box of pizza to himself, because his body is looking for nutrients, and it's not a lot of nutrients in that big pizza. But if you give him a small avocado wrap with avocados, lettuce, onions, and blase split, he's going to stay full for a long time, because the body is satisfied because it has its nutrients. So remember that. Drink your water, then eat, you know, maybe some kale if you eat meat, chicken salads, and, you know, a rainbow colored salad. And then, you know, with some healthy fats, with maybe some nuts on there. Remember, fat is good for you. Skip all that. If you see something in the market that say low fat, you may want to stay away from it, because usually if it's low fat, that means it's high in sugar. It's been replaced with something else.
They added more stuff.
So, you know, just remember that, and, you know, keep going.
Oh yeah.